Yo, what up, what up? What is going on, everybody? What is going on? And welcome to Blunt Thoughts Sports Live, episode 31. It's your boy Hector from Washington Heights. And tonight we got a little bit of a different thing going on. I know you guys see me, and right away you think Mets. I got all the Mets going around. But like I've said before, when I initially started this, it was the idea to getting into all my sports, even into New York sports in general. And today I got a couple of gentlemen that I'm very, very excited to do a show with. A couple of gentlemen who do their own show, and they talk New York sports with a little bit of a comedic take to it, and I enjoy the hell out of it. They make me laugh all the time. I just spent a couple of minutes with them backstage, and I was cracking up. So I hope you guys enjoy it. These guys have been very kind to me. You guys see Ant in the comments all the time when I do my shows. They, I think, were the first guys to actually have me on their show. Maybe the second guys that actually have me on their show. So this is long overdue. And let me start blabbering and bring my guys up. And like I said, is the co-host of the I'd Hit That podcast. Is my guy Ant with the Mets jersey. I don't know who he got on, but he got the Mets jersey on.
Cespedes.
There we go. Yeah. And my guy Mikey with the Mets hat there. How you doing, fellas?
All good, man. All good.
Good. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us, and hello to the viewers.
Yeah.
No. Thank you guys for being here. And I guess the first thing before we get into all the sports talk that I have a question for you guys
is about your internet. Yeah,
well, that's our first thing. First off, let's apologize for the delay, guys. Right when we about to start.
No, it's all right, bro. I honestly didn't even know they still had dial-up.
I didn't.
That's crazy.
What you got to do, you know what I'm saying?
I thought a meteor, fucking or drone took his shit out.
You know that never happens. That happens like every day, like at 4:30 in the morning. I don't know why these
King Kong
they want to reset the system or whatever, but that never happens during the day. And of
That's
course, as soon as I get to go live, boom, the thing crashes. But what are you gonna do? So apologize to everybody for that delay.
It's all right, man.
But here we go. But yeah, like I was saying, the question I have for you guys is the I Hit That podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That name. You know, when I first went to watch it the first time, I'm like, okay, I know they're gonna talk sports. And I apologize, no offense to anyone, but I guess my dirty mind or whatever you want to call it. But they may have a segment where it's like they're gonna bring somebody.
I'd hit that.
Yeah. But it's been nothing like that. So where does that name come from?
You want that, Mikey, or you want me to answer?
No, that's your baby. You go ahead.
So this is right up your alley, Hector. About 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, we started a softball team to play in a fall league, and we're looking for names, you know. And one of the dudes said, "I don't know, but I'd hit that," and we were like, "That's the name of our team." And then a couple of years later, we were looking for a name for the podcast, and it was easy, you know, because it flows. If the I'd Hit That podcast is like 4,000 syllables, like, yo, every time I type it in, I fucking misspell it. I'm fucking terrible, man. I'm like dyslexic, but whatever. That's the name of it for now. So
hey, listen, it makes people think, and at the end of the day, that's what you want, right? Either you want it to be catchy, you want it to catch people's attention.
Yeah.
And it caught my attention, like I said, and maybe for the wrong reasons. I was thinking along the wrong
that's
lines,
right.
But
we can add that if you want, heck, right, Mikey?
Yeah, I mean, I'm game for anything, but I mean,
listen, the 2 minute, what is it? The 2 minute warning, 2 minutes.
The 2 minute warning, yeah.
That's pretty damn good in itself.
Yeah.
So we'll take that.
Yeah, that's all. That was Mikey's idea.
So yeah, I mean, basically, what we did was, you know, we for at the end of the segment, you know, for like 2 straight minutes, we'll find somebody who was
2 minutes, Mikey.
Well, it's all right, but it's like 10 minutes for a 2 minute warning, but
yeah.
You know, we'll find somebody who's been in the news for, you know, not so good intentions, or, you know, being a complete bonehead or whatever they were, and we'll just sit there and just tear them to pieces.
Yep, we kick them while they're down.
But with the most outlandish nonsense. I mean, it's the funniest shit ever. Like, you know, we'll sit there and,
at least to us it is. Yeah.
You know, we'll say, you know, I'm just saying, you know, like Derek Jeter. I heard he eats pizza with a fork and knife. You know,
it's just silly stuff.
You know, but the stupider it gets, the funnier it gets. So you know the deal.
Exactly. And sometimes we need that, right? We take life so seriously. Sometimes we take
You just need a
sports so
break.
seriously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That sometimes it's good. That's why I enjoy you guys. Because like
yeah.
I said, it's a lighthearted view. It's a different view. Sometimes I watch you guys and I laugh, right? Because and I see him more like he's into it. He wants to get into the Knicks and what the hell is wrong with the Knicks. And Mikey's like, man, whatever. Who the hell cares, bro? They'll be in the playoffs. And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Mr. Positive.
And I'm like,
Mr.
I just
Positive.
want to choke Mikey if I was me
Yeah.
sometimes, the way
Yeah,
I get
Mr.
fired up. But I'm like, you know what? Sometimes you need that, man. You need that balance because
Yeah, you gotta
right? We're supposed to get an escape from these things, you know?
Variety is the spice of life, bro. You gotta come with different stuff. I mean, everyone that sits there, anyone could read a screen and be like, he had a 238 WAR and then a 15% OPS. I mean, it's just like, bro.
Yeah, but his FIP. What was his FIP?
Yeah, right.
But it's like, come on. If I want to watch that, I'll watch. I don't need to watch anything. I'll just go on Google.
That's 100% right.
Whatever. No, and I try to stay away from that. And sometimes you gotta reference numbers and stuff like that. But yeah, you're not gonna find that on my show.
We're just having fun, bro.
Right, and that's what I try to do. I try to like if we're sitting on the stoop on my block and we're sitting at the bar, whatever you want to call it. If we're sitting after a softball game, kicking it, or pre-softball game, kicking it, having or afterwards having a couple of brews.
All the shit that we've done, we do. Yep.
That's how I try to keep it, and I think people enjoy that also. Because, like you said, at the end of the day, you could go look up all the numbers that you want.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Sometimes
everybody knows stats.
It's good to hear somebody else reference it and how they interpret it or whatever. But yeah, like everybody knows stats. But now you have differences of what's important, what's not important. I'm an old school guy, so what's important to me is always going to be important. Although I recognize the new stuff, but
I'm a older school. I'm an older school. So yeah, man.
Calm down before you break a hip. You're good.
Hey. How do you know I didn't already? Shit.
Yeah, you could have getting up trying to close that fucking wasp net or whatever it's called.
Oh my god! What are you
I'm sorry, bro. Are you? I apologize for the language. Do you use? We're good.
Nah, we good. I mean, listen, we try to keep it clean. Some people, but sometimes we're all grown-ups here, right?
I'm good. I'll keep it clean from here on.
This is not what do you call it? Public access or anything like that. This is Blunt Thoughts, baby. So you express them how you want. Yo, Edward, leave my man. It's been a minute, my guy. Man, shout out to everybody in the chat. Tons of comments already. We're gonna try to get to your comments. Like I was saying last night on the Mets Talk Unfiltered, shout out to my guy Eddie.
Yep.
It's better if we keep the comments on topic. It's just easier for me to follow along.
Yeah.
And then at the end, we'll try to get to anything. We'll open it up, maybe something that we didn't get to, anything like that. But shout out to you guys. Yo, leave my man. It's been a minute, my guy. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Hey, yo, and then you got a body for you. Mikey, you Puerto Rican also? I'm not sure.
No, I'm not Puerto Rican, bro. Nah, no Spanish.
No Spanish at all. What Italian? What we got here?
Yeah, I get it all.
It doesn't matter.
I get it all.
Family, baby.
I can speak enough to get by. That's about it.
Yeah, Mikey Saldano Montasante.
On my mother's side.
Yo, Stan, I'm with you on that. Hey, Cindy, how you doing, man? Cindy, how you doing? Cindy, another good viewer, man. Cindy
she's there all the time, man.
Yeah, man.
Hello, Cindy.
Hello. She was just in on CT and Rob show that I was watching too. Make sure to say hello there. So I appreciate you, Cindy. But yeah, guys. So like I said, you guys are both good Met fans. So let's get into a little bit of the Mets and then how you guys are feeling about going into the season. I guess the hot topic right now, right? And I'm almost like exhausted by it. And I think, not sure how it's developed today, but it's the whole Brett Beatty, Luis Angel Acuña. And I think we pretty much know Beatty will be on the roster. Acuña will probably make it too, but it looks like Beatty has the job to start out. Maybe they go with somewhat of a platoon. We could get into how much playing time you're going to get in the platoon as the righty side of that platoon. But how do you guys feel about that situation real quick? Whichever one of you guys want to go first. I'd like to hear from both of you, obviously.
Yeah, Mikey.
I don't listen at this point with 3 days left until the season opener. If that's the headline that we got to read, looking at the totality of everything, if that's the headline we got to read and it doesn't say allegations in it, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Bro, let's get it. It's baseball related. That's the way it's supposed to be. We could chop it up, and there's an argument on both sides for this.
Of course.
But what I'll say is, I think I mean, obviously the topic is Lindor's comments, right? So,
well, yeah, we were gonna get to that too, but you can get right to it.
That's not the topic, bro. Come on, man. What's wrong with you, man?
I mean, I was just talking about how you guys feel about just Brett Beatty or Acuña at second base. Like, you got a lot of people that are like had it with Brett Beatty.
Bro, what you do? Like whippets before you do like the pod?
Oh my God, stop it!
You good?
You good? I'm just telling you what the topic was.
I know what the topic was. That's why I'm. It's a segue into it.
Oh, Hector, he's segueing on your show. Okay, so don't worry about it.
Hey, listen, it's Blunt Thoughts, baby. If you got them, you spit them out, man. And they're all welcome here.
Where's Skip Bayless when I need him, bro?
Drip Bayless.
Anyway, the whole drama around the whole Beatty and Acuña thing. Okay, I like Beatty better than. I like Acuña personally better than
Agreed.
Going into the season.
I agree.
Last year the kid did well in AAA, but then he demolished that in the Venezuelan league, right? And then he even crushed it in his call up for the playoff run. The boy can play. The way he plays in the minors as opposed to the way he plays in the bigs, I don't see a problem there. You know what he's capable of. So what are you trying to say, that he should be performing at that level in the minors too? We're getting our feet wet again. We're shaking the rust off, right?
Yep.
Some of these guys are playing to the highest level, and they plateau before the first game. I like to see this kid, play better when the lights come on, so to speak. But aside from that, and apologies, Hector.
No, you're good.
Moving into the season, I feel aside from that, I feel pretty good. The pitching's been suspect for how many years now in a row, but it seemed to all come together.
Somehow, I don't know how, but
it's piecemealed like a mofo, bro. But the offense seemed to step up last year when nobody thought it would, and it's like it says on your wall, bro. These Mets, you never know what to expect.
Right. Now the only thing is with the whole Acuña situation, right? Usually you want to see guys earn their way to the major leagues. Like, there's a progression for you to get to the major leagues. And the fact is that had Francisco Lindor not gotten hurt last season, Acuña probably would have never Acuña wouldn't have seen major leagues, because the complaint at the time was, why wasn't he one of the September call-ups? And they were telling us, listen, the kid is not ready. You know what I'm saying? Now, shout out to him, credit to him. He came up, like you said, when the lights was on, at its brightest, when we were, we needed to win pretty much every damn game, and the kid performed. So you have to give him some credit for that. But at least for me, I'm with you guys. I was hoping that he would come in and win the job in spring training.
I agree.
But the reality is that he really hasn't done that. You know what I'm saying? He really hasn't done that. But let me ask you guys this, and you can answer this one first. Do you think that Brett Beatty has figured it out? What do you make of the spring training? How do you feel about the fact that he has won the job, right? Because an opportunity was given because McNeil got hurt. Again, an injury opened up an opportunity, and this time Brett Beatty ran with it. What do you guys make of this spring training? What do you think, Aaron?
I think Acuña will probably claim white privilege that Beatty got the job. And rightfully so. How many guys have figured it out in spring training and then suck? And how many chances does Brett Beatty get? Just because he moved to a different position? Oh, let's wipe the slate clean. Brett Beatty look at him. He's hitting 325 or whatever he's hitting. Everybody knows Acuña should be playing and not him. But there's room for both of them. And I don't think he should have named either or as starting second baseman. He should have just said they both made the team and I'll make a decision, whatever, game time, whatever.
Well, yeah, I don't think they have they? I think we're just assuming. I don't think they've named anyone. To be fair.
I don't think he'll start against Framber Valdez, that's for sure.
No, probably not, especially if Acuña makes the team. I think if they just pick somebody up of the scrap heap or whatever you want to call it, somebody that gets cut right now or DFA'd in these next couple of days, then maybe you still give Beatty that start. But if Acuña makes a team, that would be the start that he gets. Those are the starts he's going to get, right? Is against the lefty for the most part.
Right.
If we're thinking about a platoon. But for me, I'll be honest. Now that Beatty's won the job, I want to see him get a run at it, and let me see what you could do once and for all. Because for me, guys, and you've heard me say this on my show, I think Brett Beatty's exhausted AAA. Brett Beatty's exhausted AAA. There's nothing he can prove in AAA. So it's time now for him to show that he can get it done in the major league level.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we want to trade Brett Beatty. That's what most Met fans
100%.
want.
That's
Get him out of here. But right now, what are you trading him for? You know what I'm saying? What are you trading him for? If you call any team right now for a trade and you're trying to get a viable player, who do you think they're going to ask for?
First,
Beatty or Luis Angel Acuña?
They're going to ask for Vientos first.
And I'm hanging the hell up.
That's right.
Nope.
I'm hanging the hell up. I'll tell you that right now.
Not for sale.
Right. But so how do you feel about the spring training for Beatty?
I think that
I meant, well, I thought you just answered. I meant to say, Mikey,
well,
go ahead.
All right. I think that he was okay. I'll reserve judgment for the season. You go, Mikey.
Well, he was more than okay. It doesn't matter what do we believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely has to show it now.
We'll see in June.
He won the job fair and square. I mean, you can't. I mean, us as Met fans, like, it doesn't matter how good they do. We're going to tear it apart and break it down anyway, but
that's true.
The kid won the job. What are you going to say about it? You can't say anything about it. He won the job fair and square, which means that that's who they want to play.
Nah.
And I don't agree with the platooning, not at that young. I mean, you want to take like some veterans, you want to platoon them to kind of like make them, elongate their career, prolong their career. That's great. Or they still have something to offer the team, but so does this other young kid coming in. That combination makes more sense to me.
I agree with you 100% on that.
I mean, I don't think they're dumb enough to do that, but everyone knows you come to New York and there's just decisions made, you just scratch your head, and it's just like, so. I mean, listen, we got two good players, right? That we're arguing who should start. I mean, that's a good problem to have in New York.
Fair point.
No, that's for sure. And I'm totally with you 100%. I don't like the idea of young guys platooning. And that's why I say, and even in the platoon, I keep saying this. I actually went and looked at the teams that we start out, thinking, okay, McNeil might miss 2-3 weeks, whatever it is. So in the first 18 games, they faced 4 different teams because they faced the Marlins twice. I saw 4 left-handed starters on those rosters. You know what I'm saying? And then now do they all make it? Do we face them when they get a start? So we're talking about 4 possible starts.
Out of how many you said? 18?
In 18 games. Is that worth having Acuña up there? When you start Brett Beatty against a lefty and they bring in a lefty to pitch, who do you think is going to pinch hit? Acuña or Starling Marte? It's probably going to be Starling Marte. You understand what I'm saying? So
both of them could steal a base. I don't know.
Is that what you want to start using them for? Just to steal a base? I understand when you do that.
I'm saying if they got on
September is one thing, but to do that right to start the season and have them as play maybe once a week and pinch run, I'm not sure if that's
like a move you make. Right, that's like a move you make like after the All-Star break. You've had a chance to see everybody. They've had enough ABs. They've had enough games. Like now you kind of know the direction you're going in, right? And say they decided to platoon them, and maybe they have just cause to do it. But yeah, right now I don't agree. No, I mean you play whoever won the job until we're in our second or third week, and he starts getting booed when he gets up to the plate because he's hitting $110, and now you make a decision. But I mean, let the kid start. Yeah. See how he does. He can play. They could both play.
I keep him up there. I keep him up there so he's nice and close when Beatty fucks up, because that's gonna happen.
See, Met fan.
I want the dude. I want the dude to do well, of course. But I seen it enough already. I'd rather have Acuña, but that's just my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right. Most of the time, I'm wrong. So.
This was a story that I read in The Athletic a couple of days ago, and I don't want to get into it, the whole thing, but it's a couple of things I just want to reference. And one is Beatty himself here acknowledging that spring training doesn't mean much, as you can see here. but they talk about his adjustments and what he did. So when we look at what he's done in spring training, and again, it's easy to say, well, we've seen this before from Brett Beatty, but I think he's been a little bit better this spring training than even what he's done at his best in the majors whenever he had his good week and the good that spring trainings that he's had. And for me, I did see some difference, some changes in what he was doing. And I find out here that he went and hired a hitting coach in the offseason, right? And the hitting coach worked with him on the mental approach with the game. Like he was setting up situations, you're 0 for this, the crowd is booing you, there's articles being written about you're not living up to par, and just seeing how he handled that. And Beatty himself talked about how that made him, feel better about everything. Like he could see the effects of it. He even talked about how it made him take pitches a little bit better now in spring training with the things that they were doing. Let me see here. Again, I don't want to read this whole thing, but here he says, they got him to work in an 0 for 17 skid. People were booing, articles were being written. And Beatty already knows how that feels, right? And then he said that aspect really resonated with me, just the challenging part.
Mm-hmm.
And that comment resonated with me because we've heard Beatty talk about how, handling the bright lights in New York City and being able to deal with that feeling. Like he's talked about that. So opposed to Acuña, who when the lights were bright, he was like, let's go. For Beatty, the lights got bright and it was like, ooh, let me hide over here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so see how he responds now. I mean, now he's dug in. I mean, this kid, we didn't trade him. Like we didn't trade the farm for him. He came from our farm. I mean, this kid, he's still kind of cutting his teeth. I mean, we can't really tear him apart that much, can we? I mean, can we at least get 3 years to kind of give him like that line?
This is the third year.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, so I hope he comes up here and he tears it up. He tears it up, yeah. And then they trade his ass for Alcantara from the Marlins.
Mike Anthony, that's where I'm at, bro. We need him to build that value at the major league level so that we're able to trade him. And to your point, Mikey, here goes Mendoza. He's got to go out there and do it now.
Right.
He's got to go out there and do it. He's got to trust the work that he not only did in the offseason, but what he's been doing here in camp.
Yep. Right. Yep. And Acuña's got the upper hand because he can handle the pressure. We've seen it.
That's it.
And that should be merit enough for this guy, for him to start over Beatty, to be honest. But I mean, the kid can handle the pressure.
I just think he's a better player.
No, that too.
I've watched them both, and even if it's a small sample from Acuña, I just think he's a better player.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I think that but whatever. I mean, Beatty. I hope Beatty, like I said, I hope Beatty does well.
I mean, he doesn't have an all-star brother that plays for Atlanta, so
no.
Right
Before we move on to that kid, I just want to close out with this on the whole Beatty thing, because again, it goes back to what I've been saying, him building that value in the major league level. And here's a scout basically saying the same thing. This is the scouts. This year's adjustments intrigue rival scouts who mostly remain skeptical until they see Beatty consistently hit in the major leagues.
Yeah, there you go. Show him something, and that's it.
He's already maxed out his AAA
time.
You know what I'm saying?
His
Like there's nothing
options.
there's nothing that he can show in AAA anymore.
Timeshare. He's done.
Right.
In other words, AAA is not an option anymore for him. He's a quadruple A player.
Squad or traded. That's it.
Or he's a major league, or he's a quadruple A player, and you don't want to be a quadruple A player because you're gone.
DFA.
So, yeah.
There you go. Now, Brett Beatty does have at least one big fan, and my guy Joe. Dime a ver de lo mío, ¿qué lo que?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
He's been fighting me behind the scenes. Brett Beatty and how he needs to be given another shot and how good he is. Let me see what my guy says here. Great point, Mikey. He played over 50 games in Venue Winter League. Mendoza has a lot of scouts down there. They gave him the reports. Yes, Stan, but even still, Mendoza hasn't just given him the job based on what he's seen in spring training. Even still, Mendoza had talked about how he needs to be better about the mistakes that he's made so far during spring training. So they both may be Venezuelan, and Mendy may have connections down there. but he's not just gonna give him the job because they're compatriots. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Is that even how you pronounce that word?
And you know what? This is the last thing I'll say about this issue. He knows. I mean, he knows what he can do from the end of last year, right? I mean, we all know what Acuña can do from the end of last year. So I'm kind of surprised that it was more of an open competition, because while Acuña kind of rose to the occasion and Beatty had his struggles, he still said, no, we're going to go to spring training to figure it out. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I mean, Mendoza's the guy, he knows better than we do. We're just sitting here talking about it. He's the one making the decisions. So, as fans, I mean, that's pretty much all we can do. It's frustrating, but it's like I said, it's a good problem to have.
Right.
So-
And like I said, we can't forget the reason why he came up last year. They still felt like he needed more time, and they were
Yeah.
forced to bring him up. So
I know.
it's
Happens all the time. It's a very Met thing to do to force these kids into the spotlight, and then they throw them away too early. They end up scoring. They go to another team, and then we know how that goes.
Name one of those. Name one.
Name one what?
Name
One guy that
yeah.
Timo
that's
Perez.
never happened.
Yeah. That's always right.
Cargo in the conversation. I mean, but that's how it goes. The only time they actually got it wrong and flat wrong, and the whole league knew it, was Generation K. But that was a long time
There
ago.
you go. Now the other thing that our guy Mikey was excited to talk about, chomping at the bit,
Yeah.
is the fact that Lisandro Acuña, we've kind of hinted at, is just bored with spring training, bored with the minor leagues, bored with life. And we got that not from a fan, not from Hector in Washington Heights hating or speculating, but from the unofficial captain, or if it was up to me, co-captain, because I think Brandon Nim was just as much as a captain as Francisco Lindor.
I would agree with that 100%.
From one of our leaders on the team, Francisco Lindor, right, who said he looks bored, he looks like he's not trying, and so on and so forth. But what do you guys just loose interpretation of that? As I'm gonna try to bring those comments, because I just like to reference things, guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't let people think that I'm making things up. You know what I mean? But what do you guys think so far about that situation?
I mean, I think what Lindor was doing was I think he was kind of trying to tongue in cheek light a fire under Acuña, maybe to kind of prevent any further issues. And what I mean by that is I think maybe he made it public so the kid would hear him, and he knew he could take, the high profile criticism, and maybe that was his way of kind of telling him, listen, you need to step it up if you want to make it back. That's the way I saw it. I mean, Lindor's not the kind of guy who's going to come out and say something that's going to turn into an issue unless the media spins it. He's not that kind of teammate. So that's the way I see it.
No, and I kind of agree with that. Right when I saw it, the first thing was like, wow. Is Lindor trying to send a message? You know what I'm saying? As the leader of the team, he's trying to send this young guy a message.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
go ahead,
I'm sorry, Heck.
No, go ahead, bro.
He's doing what Mikey see me doing on stupid softball team, where I praise the guy and at the same time I'm smacking him in the back of the head. That's exactly what he's doing to him. He's like, yeah, man, my man, the lights go on. But he better keep that shit up, or he gonna find his ass back in AAA. That's exactly what he was saying.
Constructive criticism at its
finest. Yeah. He was
still praising the dude. He's like,
mi panita, toma.
But when he's not bored, what they're capable of. So he wasn't saying anything bad, in my opinion.
No, he didn't say anything. No.
But I had mostly the same interpretation as you guys. Like, it was the captain trying to give him a little kick in the butt, like a little smack in the back of the head, like, yo, we behind you. I believe in you, pero tú tienes que, tú me entiendes? You gotta earn the keep, bro. We just not gonna give it to you. Everybody gotta earn their keep,
right?
You know. But there's been other people that have said, nah, he's trying to say, he's trying to fight for him. He's trying to fight for him to get on the team. He's trying to get people off his back and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? And I'm still in between, right? But the whole article was the fact of the lack of production, but even scouts saying this is how Let me see. Let me bring this up here because I think this is pretty important too. And this one I don't have all nice, but this comes from courtesy of Anthony DeComo and MLB.com, everybody. Anthony DeComo, MLB.com article. And it says baseball scouts like to talk about the third deck. Affect an allusion to successful minor leaguers who struggle to produce at the highest level. What did you guys reference earlier with Brett Beatty and the third deck and him not being able to handle it?
Yeah.
And Luis Angel Acuña is the total opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Some Mets types believe Acuña has the opposite gene, right? And then the Lindor quote comes right after that. So that's what's now made me think a little bit like, wait a minute. Is Acuña maybe really trying to say, hey, get off my guy's back? Because we know when the lights turn on, he's going to produce.
He's going to play some ball, right?
As opposed to saying, yo, get your shit together. Even though we know when the lights turn on, you're going to produce.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of both of that. I think there's a little bit of like we said, smack in the head and pat on the back. So
Acuña's got to be careful though, because this isn't just a stat issue, right? This is a character issue too, and
right.
I mean, him being as young as he is, I mean, he should know. Listen, you give it. I mean, I don't want to sound cliche, but you give it 110% no matter what. You don't have that luxury of turning it off and turning it on when you want to. You know what I mean? You do that when you're in the show and you have no chance of losing your job.
Yeah, when you're a veteran. Yeah.
Right. But and you can take a guy who plays like Cespedes, but then he plays like Jason Bay at the same time, just because he can. You know what I mean? But this kid's got to be careful. He's got to be, because I mean, you don't want to send that message. You'll be untradeable. Your career will be over real quick, and he'll be playing.
That's a great point, Mikey. Untradeable. That's a great point, man.
No one's gonna. I mean, if this turns into a problem, like I said, he's gonna either be here or we'll see him in 10 years, playing for like the Pittsburgh farm system somewhere.
Right. And what I've said too is, before I say that, let me just read the quotes as I have it up here. I'm pretty sure everybody's read it already. But, like I said, right after that, they give the Lindor quote. He says, I think he plays bored in spring training, Lindor said. If the lights come on, then he's good.
Right.
Last year in the minors, he was bored, probably. He doesn't get amped up for it. It's rare when you see elite big leaguers or big leaguers dominate the minor leagues. That was like, really? Usually elite big leaguers do dominate the minor leagues. You know what I'm saying? These guys tear it up down there like, you got to bring them up. So that was a little bit like, But I guess he says they just get bored. That could be some of them, yes. And then eventually they figure it out and say, I guess I got to do a little bit more to get called up. And then they get called up and it wakes them up.
We'll see.
Again, that never got to happen with Acuña because he got called up. You know what I'm saying? We'll see now when he goes down if he's able to take heed to this and say, you know what? It doesn't matter. I got to get my shit together so I can get called back up there and make sure I stay up there. Because I do worry too, like, okay, the adrenaline was pumping and it was good, but eventually that's going to wear off, no? Right? Opening day as a rookie is only one time. Everything is going to be new to him only one time.
Yeah.
So that excitement, that natural juice is going to wear out. And then now you got to find it. Now you got to be professional and go out there and be able to perform every day. And that's what makes a difference between major leaguers, good major leaguers, the greats. And when I say he's going to be great, but everybody wants to talk to me about Acuña and the bloodline and this and this and that.
Right.
Well, you got to go out there and show it, man.
And he has to.
He kind of did show it a little bit, but they want to see it in
3 days. Yeah.
Yeah,
72 hours. We'll see.
Me personally, I think he's a good ball player, but
and I think he has more of a future with the Mets than Brett Beatty do.
I 100% agree with that.
He is, if anything,
100%.
he's part of the future, not Brett Beatty. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why I also think we have to be careful and make sure that this guy develops the right way.
Right.
Acuña's playing for a spot. Beatty's playing for his job. Plain and simple. That's the way I see it.
You know what, Mikey? That's brilliant, bro.
Thank you.
That's brilliant.
That's a good way to put it.
I black out. I don't even know what happened. So
Well, let me get you guys' thoughts on the rotation. Well, I think Anthony already kind of gave us his thoughts a little bit early on. He's not too high on it. But what are you guys' thoughts on the rotation real quick as we get into the season and we kind of wrap this down? Shit, I wanted to get out of here before 9.
go ahead, Ant. I'll let you start. I'll just trash him. So I might.
All right, so the rotation is Clay Holmes, right?
Clay Holmes,
Senga, my boy.
well,
For now.
Peterson,
right,
McGill,
Right.
and Griffin Cannon.
right. Who's
Doesn't
looked
that-
phenomenal in spring training, bro.
Yeah. We'll see. That dude's got DFA written all over him.
Wow.
Look, the rotation. I'm not a big Dylan Cease fan. I think he's a little overrated, if you ask me. But the reality is, somebody like Dylan Cease will be perfect on this staff. Somebody like him, he could be the de facto ace, because to me, a 3.6, 3.7 isn't really a ace ERA. So if you had somebody like him, fine.
Compliments Minaya perfectly.
But I think we need Minaya to come back really quick. I just think the bottom end of that with McGill and Canning is just gonna be like a loss every whatever it is, 4 or 5 days, whatever it is, because who knows if they're gonna do a 6 or 7 man rotation. We got to keep Senga, we got to keep Senga in bubble wrap. He can't pitch, So I think that I think they're going to be okay. I just don't think they're going to be great.
You want to add to that, Mikey?
Mid.
Yeah, I wish I would have thought of that, because that was a lot more than the bullshit.
That's something I hear thrown around about the Knicks a lot, which we might get to if we have time. But yeah, mid. Listen, I got to be honest, guys. I have a hard time getting worked up over the rotation and the pitching just because of what we've seen and what David Stearns is known for. And I know a lot of people say, okay, well, it worked last year. You can't expect it to work again. Well, for him, it's worked a lot of years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but in a shitty division.
In a shitty division. It's never led to a World Series. I agree with all of that. But I also have the confidence that as the season goes on, if there's someone out there to be had, they will go out there and do their best to make that move. But I like what I've seen from a Griffin Cannon. And I can only go by what I've seen. I've never watched him pitch. I know the numbers look horrendous. When we signed them, I was like, okay, here we go. Another low risk, high reward type of signing. This is all we freaking do. I'm tired of this crap. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Then I watch him in spring training, and I'm like, damn, maybe he could figure something out. Now, again, it's spring training. It applies for everybody. You got to go out there, and you got to do it when the games count. Tyler McGill. You know why I put Tyler McGill? Tyler McGill, and I think somebody said this on one of my shows, so I apologize if you're in here and I'm not quoting you. You guys know I'm terrible. Blunt thoughts because I'm blunt, and blunt thoughts because I'm blunt. Shit, and I almost forgot what I was gonna say, but no, I see Tyler McGill as I know who it was. This is my guy Junior. Junior, what's going on? I know you in here.
Yeah, he's always in there.
Yeah, he said Tyler McGill is somewhat like the rotation Brett Beatty. It's his time now.
You know what?
It's time for Tyler McGill.
I'm so angry at that comment that I didn't fucking think of it. That's a great.
Again, shout out to my guy Junior.
Poignancy.
There's a Brett Beatty everywhere.
There's a Brett Beatty everywhere.
No shit. But that's a great comment, man.
That's a great point.
And we're going to take this brief intermission for this even greater comment by my guy Darren. Darren, I appreciate you so much. But this is true. 20 watching, even though there's a little bit more, but it's 20 watching on YouTube right now. Can we get more than one like, guys? Come on, what is going on here? And if you're on X, because we got close to 100 people watching right now, come over to the YouTube, give us a subscribe, give us a like, go check out my guys that I hit that podcast, give them a subscribe and check them out. I promise you guys, you won't be disappointed. It's going to be different than what you're hearing all of the nonsense you hear every day, all of the numbers and all that stuff. We just talk. It's like we're hanging out. Anyways, back to this. Shout out to my guy CP, who just got finished doing his own show and is here showing support, man. Yo,
Good show,
CP,
man.
shout out to
Good
you.
show.
Wow, good stuff, yo.
Yep, that is good stuff.
No, yeah, those guys do good stuff, and they do the numbers and all that. And there's nothing
that's
wrong
all
with
right.
that.
That's all right.
Nothing wrong with that. Where were we here? What else? Anybody else talking about subscribe and all that good stuff? Let's do it. Oh, you see? No. Let me take that off the screen. That was a bad comment by my guy Carlos. Shout out to Carlos. Where were we here? But yeah, man. And then, what do you guys think about Clay Holmes? You guys worried about Clay Holmes? He's gonna break down. People say Clay Holmes is gonna break down by September. I'm sorry, I saw that in CP and Rob's show earlier. What did they say? I think it was September. Somebody said they have like no faith that this guy can be able to,
You know what you got though. We didn't get any unknown. We know what we got.
What do we got? It was a reliever turned starter. You don't know what you got.
Oh, okay. I know exactly what we got. We got a guy who's going to come out full of piss and vinegar for the first couple starts, and then a guy who's going to fall apart. That's exactly what's going to happen. He's not going to last.
Does piss and vinegar show up in a drug test? Like what the fuck?
Yeah, most times.
You get suspended for piss and vinegar.
They test you for salad dressing every time. But no, I think he's going to come out here to try to prove a point. A fan, Clay, he started, and then like his third or fourth start, Clay Holmes goes 2 1/3.
I've been impressed with him, man.
2 1/3. That'd be a long outing.
Very impressed, and Stan is beyond impressed as he says Holmes is going to win the Cy Young. Shout out to my guy Joe Benigno, and we're going to rob from him from your lips to God's ears, Stan.
Yeah.
Cy Young. Wow.
One thing I'll say, guys, is the good thing is that for the most part, I think what worried. Did we finish with? My bad, Quays. Did we finish with the best ERA? I think we had the best ERA or the top 3 ERA in spring. It doesn't matter, Hector. Spring, what is it? But if they stunk, we really would have been losing our mind. So at least these guys all perform well for the most part. Although we want to kill them, we can't really because of that. And then it helps them. It helps their confidence. You know what I'm saying? Clay Holmes, who's trying to turn into a starter, the last thing we needed was for him to get knocked around. Right? Now it feels good. He's like, damn, I could do this. There's going to be some stumbling blocks in mid-game judgment and all that. That's going to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think it's a great thing that most of these guys had success, and they can carry that out into the season. So I feel good about the rotation. Listen, I feel good about the bullpen. I think they did the right thing with Daniel Nunez and taking it easy with him. It looks like AJ Minter is going to make the team. Listen to him after today's game. They can see how he bounces back. It looks like he's going to make it. So we'll see who they decide between Kranick and Brazoban. I can see them going with Brazoban, him being the older guy is another guy. Like, we got to see what the hell we got with this guy. He's 35 years old. He pitched well. They bring him here for a reason. Kranick is a little bit younger. So I can see them going with Brazoban. I'm not too worried, but I understand the concerns and the whole thing because I think the biggest key, there's a lot of keys in the rotation. I think David Peterson is the X factor of the starting rotation. I think he needs to take that next step and be that ace that we're looking for. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that's what I think.
Mikey don't like David Peterson, man. He be killing him, man. I'm all right with David Peterson, man. I know what he is. If he turns a corner and he gets better, okay. But if he doesn't and he sort of mimics what he did last year, it wasn't a full season, right? Because he was hurt in the beginning. Or hurt at
he
some
came
point.
off of the surgery, but maybe that surgery was what he needed,
Maybe
because he came in.
So
he was pretty damn good, Now he got it again. He got to carry it over.
I'll put it this way: I'm glad he's on our staff. I'm not his biggest fan, but I'm glad he's on our staff. How about that?
Right. And then the bullpen, I think, you got Buto, you got Regarra, like I said, Minter. We'll see what Danny Young is. I'm maybe a little bit higher than most on Danny Young.
Yeah, you love Danny Young, man.
The key is this guy right here. If we don't get optimal Edwin Diaz, we're going to be in trouble.
Yep.
And people are concerned because his velocity is down and stuff like that. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, Mike.
Are you concerned with his velocity?
No. He still throws in the the mid to upper 90s most of the time. I mean,
True.
he's not cracking 3 digits. His velocity is not necessarily down.
Right.
Maybe the guy's just tired. Like, give him. He's not going to go out there for for an inning or even 2 innings and throw that can maybe every once in a while consistently. But there's no reason to panic. There's a reason why they gave him that contract, and barring his his injury from a few seasons ago, I mean, I don't see any problems with him. He had that 1 year; it was an adjustment period, and then the dude came back and he killed it. So I'm good with it. I haven't seen him melt down. I'm not down on Sugar. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I think they should have signed Tanner Scott. And not to take over this guy's spot, but if he has a good year and he opts out, I got Tanner Scott. I don't need you. But David Stearns don't think that way, So Tanner Scott went elsewhere, and now if Edwin Diaz has a good year, leaves next year, opts out, whatever.
We'll find the next project.
Then when we're gonna find it.
But that's a good problem, though, as opposed to being concerned right now and whether he can perform this season. If he does that and performs well enough to opt out, I'm all for that. And listen, we'll see. Maybe they do bring him back depending on what the hell he wants. He seems to like it, but the question would it be worth bringing him back? Because honestly, I think Mikey's kind of like overrating his time here. I think there's been more down Edwin Diaz
I agree.
than there's been good Edwin Diaz. You know what I'm saying? We've got more bad Edwin Diaz than we've got good Edwin Diaz. And then we got a year of no Edwin Diaz, no fault of his because he was hurt. And listen, I'm a WBC guy. I don't care when you get hurt. You get hurt, you get hurt. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if it's in spring training. It doesn't matter like people like, oh my God, just get through this game. You get through this game today and you get hurt opening day, you still got hurt.
Still got hurt. That's right.
Still gonna suck. You know what I'm saying? You're still gonna suck. Now the good thing is some of the injuries that we've had now during spring, they've been short. You know what I'm saying? Are they going to be short? And hopefully we'll get these guys back. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if I'm concerned, guys, because I'm a guy that I'm not a velocity guy. You understand what I'm saying? Just get the outs however it gets out. I want to see you be able to pitch. My biggest concern with Edwin Diaz right now, it doesn't even have to so much do with Edwin Diaz. It's more of not having Francisco Alvarez and the impact that we know he has on the rotation, but mostly Edwin Diaz and how he's been able to snap him out of being
he does.
Headlight. You know what I'm saying? When Edwin Diaz doesn't know what the hell's going on, and we know what do we hear Edwin Diaz say all the time in the post games? Oh, I just throw whatever
he puts down.
I throw whatever he told me to put down. I follow my catcher.
Oh man, yo, I'm offended. I'm offended by that Latin.
I don't even know why the hell I did
that Latin voice.
Yo, he could tell.
I live in Puerto Rico and I'm offended.
I mean, he could still Alvarez can still tell him what to throw. You just do it from the dugout. Everybody else does it.
I mean, I guess he could call the pitches, but it's not the same being there. And I would be like, "Yo, I know. Going, yo. I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go."
He knows the pitches for the next 3 innings. I mean, those guys, they're prepared. Like they're a good team. But listen, we'll see how the year goes. And I mean, I think it's going to be obvious after this year is over. We'll have gotten the most out of him than any other team can. So even if he does walk,
that's a fair point, Mikey.
I'm not gonna be that upset about it.
I think it all depends on his slider, man. If his slider is kicking, what's the difference whether he's throwing 96 or 99 or 100?
Need to.
The slider's gonna be unhittable, man.
Just like what happened saying, it's not velocity. Throw the nasty stuff. That's
hell no, man.
Yeah,
but sometimes he throws that slider and it lands in the first base dugout, and then that's a fucking problem.
Yeah, that's usually with guys on base. Yeah, that's a problem.
Guys on base in a tied game.
I was a little amped up, dude. It's spring training. How the hell are you amped up?
Yo, and your personal friend Angel wants to make sure.
Oh,
I say
Angel.
Hello, man. So,
yeah, that's my boy Angel, man. Calls me every Saturday, man. That's my boy. Metal horns.
Good to have you, Angel. Good to have you, man. Good to have you. And Angel before that said, "I'm sorry, but when Diaz comes in, I immediately go for the Rolaids."
Yeah, you can tell he's a man in his 60s with Rolaids. Like nobody knows what Rolaids are right now. Rather Googling, people like Googling. What the fuck are Rolaids? I don't know.
That's why he's your boy. That's why he's your boy. Because when Diaz comes in, you grab the remote.
There you go. My guy Ramos says, with Diaz, I'm not worried about his heat being 97. I'm concerned about his slider being his 2022
slider. 100%. I totally agree.
So is the dugout. Everyone's
There you go. Like, it looks like
oh,
another
look,
friend.
that's my.
I got the fans. That's bringing the fans. There we go. Hello, Nilson.
That's my sister-in-law, man.
There we go. Well, hello,
Much
sister-in-law.
love.
Good to have you. Good to have you.
Nilson
guys,
Joe, love them.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
See, I had to bring people to the screen.
Nah, for sure. Lenny P says, don't sleep on that kick changeup. That's Clay Holmes who has that, right? Is that Clay Holmes or
I know it ain't Diaz because I ain't never seen him. He should have learned.
No, it's either Holmes or Canning. And since we were talking about those guys, I'm sure that's when he made those comments.
I will say Clay Holmes' changeup has been pretty good, and I believe it's a developing pitch, so could be.
No, and even Canning's changeup has been nasty. It just drops off the fucking plate, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and guys, I've watched maybe 12 innings of spring training, and I'm exaggerating a little bit.
Yeah,
spring training. But what I've seen from some of these guys that I've watched, man, they look good. They look good, and the numbers say they've been doing well. So, again,
just hold it together.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the baseball season. I'm looking forward to what this team can do. I have high hopes for this team. We're going to end with something on the Mets. We'll come back to it. But I do want to get you guys' thoughts, and we're going to be brief with this because I know you guys don't want to be too long. We'll try to keep it to an hour. But I got to get your thoughts on this because I hear you guys talk about this all the time. And this is where I see my guy Anthony get worked up, and Mikey be like, forget it.
Mikey's fucking
about it.
Yeah.
What the hell
positive.
are the 2025 Knicks? Are these guys contenders or are they pretenders? And for you Met fans, don't go anywhere. Stick around because we're going to end with the Mets.
Same colors. They have the same colors, all right? They have the same colors.
Right. Some people talk about the Mets change their colors and it's the colors, is this and this and that, but
let's act like they're a gang. They're all the same colors. Yeah.
Right.
I think I said this on no, I do say that a lot. I know I text you that a lot, but
I was gonna keep that on the down low.
I think that I said this on our podcast when we had Modelo Beckham from Big Nick Energy on.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Yep. There you go, Mikey. They could go out in the first round and you'd be like, I knew it. They could go out in the Eastern Conference Final and you'd be like, I knew it. You know, either way, it could go either way with those guys. They're very frustrating. You know they can't beat the better teams. Part of that's because their bench stinks. And they're not winning a championship. Let's put it that way. Eastern Conference, they get to the Eastern Conference, I'd be like, you know what? But they're very flawed. Very flawed. Mikey?
They're going to win. Bro. They're Listen. I love this team. I believe in this team. I do, but
I love James Dolan.
But relax, bro. Just relax. But I got to tell you, like in the words of Stephen A. Smith, you know, the New York Knickerbockers are so soft. They're very soft.
That was good, Mikey.
Bro.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Are the Knicks soft?
But that's why I don't think that they're gonna win the title. No, I mean, just stop flopping and trying to draw offensive fouls, throw some balls, be a bully. Move guys around, play some defense. Have some presence in the paint. When you got Precious Acuña is like your biggest defensive threat in the game, you got problems. Come on, bro.
I think that Bridges is overrated defensively. I think he's a nice defender.
Overrated defensively,
but he's. I'll say this again. I said it on our podcast too. I watch how they have Bridges pick up the point guard right at half court. This is every possession. He backs up, they pick him, and now Brunson's got to guard the point guard or the guy that Bridges should be guarding. It's every possession. How don't you adjust to that?
That's a Thibs thing.
Yeah, that's terrible.
He's got to figure it out. I mean, they do what he tells them to do, but I mean, you see them; they argue with him too. But they're just a very soft team. They're just lifeless sometimes. It's like, I mean, to give them credit, they have a great offense. I mean, 100 points. I mean, they have a very dangerous offense. But there's always a but after every good thing you say about this team. They lean on Jalen Brunson way too much. We're seeing that. As Knicks fans, we're actually watching it happen.
Mm-hmm.
What are they? One and what in their last 5? I mean, they're just getting pushed around. I mean, you're getting watched.
Yeah, I don't even know what they are. I was gonna look that up beforehand, but I forgot. And just so we could move it along real quick.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned the bench. Is the bench the players not being good? I'm tired of this is a conversation every year, guys, for a long time. We don't got guys that can shoot from outside, and we don't have a bench. Is it that we just don't know how to get players to fill out a bench, or are we just having a hard time developing players, both on the NBA roster, the G League, whatever the hell they do to develop players in the NBA? Are we lacking in that department? Is it the coach not giving these guys enough time?
I think that's part of it. I think that's part of it.
Able to come again, because I believe that. I have a problem with the minutes and the distribution of minutes, and I feel like you should bring your bench into the game, as much as possible, so that when you need them, they know what the hell is going on, and the court is not a foreign experience to them. And that's what you get sometimes. Like, this guy will play one guy because he needs to one day for 38 minutes, and then the guy doesn't play for another 7 games.
Yeah. He does that to Acuña. He does that to Acuña all the time.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense to me. And I could see, like, these guys are human, and feelings matter. So,
of course.
You want these guys to be professional, and you should be able to go out there, but that's not reality. That's not reality. So I want to take that and lead into this question, though, because we voice these concerns as fans, and there's people that say, "Oh, what are you talking about?" There's even some media types that say, "What the hell are you talking about?" But we heard this player speak out, and that was Mikey Bridges, and people complained and kept saying, "This is not the man for the job." But to me, it's like, I don't care. You may not like his defense. We may think he's an inconsistent offensive player. I thought he was going to be a better 3-point shooter. All of that is valid. But at the same time, what he was saying wasn't wrong. And at this point, I don't give a damn who the messenger is, because the messenger is coming from within.
Right. Right. I agree with you 100%.
What are you guys' thoughts on all of that I just spit out there?
I think Mikal Bridges should worry about being more DeMar DeRozan than some sort of big 3-point shooter, because he's not a great 3-point shooter. Sure, he has streaks. I get it.
Be more DeRozan than.
But is that him, and or is just that the fact that Tibbs doesn't run a fucking offense, bro? Tibbs doesn't run an offense.
He's a
the
big
players will tell you that they don't run an offense. You know what I'm saying?
He does.
Time and time again, you got guys hanging out in the corner and not.
That's the NBA, bro.
That's the NBA.
That's the NBA. That's
right, but if you're gonna play that, get guys that can hit that damn shot. And that's what I'm saying before. I'm tired of hearing we, for some reason, get the worst shooters. We get the worst bench players. Like, what the hell are we doing?
We can't defend the 3. It can't defend the 3.
Nope.
It can't. Yeah. Like,
nope.
And these guys are like, they're posing. They're like,
So let me ask you guys this as we close out this next thing. Quite often when you talk about sports and teams, and maybe this may be a little bit ahead, maybe we shouldn't be going here, but every team has a window. What do you guys see the Knicks in their window? Is there still time? Yeah, they're not going to make the team the players in 2025.
That is a good question.
I've already heard people talking about, shout out to my guy Eddie, who said, yo,
that's a great
I'm trading Cat this offseason. I'm trading Cat this offseason.
For what's his name? For Giannis?
Eddie.
For Giannis? Yeah, but for Giannis? Is that who he's trading him for?
Yesterday, bro. Make that trade. I mean, I love Cat, but
make that trade yesterday.
That's a good question, though, or a good point, Hector. Well, actually, both of you guys. I think that I mean, I see their window open a little bit. I think it's still a team that has room to grow, honestly, because fair point. There's several moves that you can still make to improve this team and still keep a lot of the personnel you have, you can build that bench and make this team even more dangerous as long as, Thibs isn't leaving guys in there when we're up by 25 in the fourth quarter and Cat's still not running up and down the court. Like, put your bench, like, let your bench play. Give them give them a quarter, let them play. And that's the problem too. But, what you said as far as the personnel we have, we got guys that can shoot. We got big men that can shoot. But, defense is just non-existent. The only reason why we are where we are is because of the offense. And that's it. What are you laughing at now, bro?
No, it's one of the comments, man. It's one of the comments.
They say you look like Doc. I don't know.
That's
it's a joke for you guys.
Doc is a legend from Cardinal Hayes back in the day. Allegedly, he's a legend in his own slime.
It was
That's
19.
what he
Did you
is.
guys go to Cardinal Hayes? Did you guys go to Cardinal Hayes?
I went to St. Raymond's, man. I was
okay.
Cardinal Hayes, man. That's a hell no,
Well,
man. I went to St. Raymond's.
Listen,
man.
a lot of my family went to Cardinal Hayes. A lot of my cousins went to Cardinal Hayes. So,
sorry,
not
man.
me though, but yeah, that Cardinal Hayes is in my family. Let's see what Ramos got to say. Yeah, exactly, man. They need Brunson to create for himself and
Great
also create for everyone else. No backup point guard. The Knicks have a great starting five. But when they get subbed, it's a shit show. Yeah.
I said this. I've said this on our podcast where you need somebody to come off that bench, and sometimes you need somebody that's gonna light it up. He's gonna light it up. Sometimes you need somebody to slow it down, bring the game back. You know what I mean? And the Knicks don't have that. I'm not shitting on McBride or Campaign. I love both of them, but they're almost the same type of player, right? They're coming in, they're chucking. And then people are saying that Tyler Kolek maybe should get more burn.
He definitely should get more burn, 100%.
100%.
100%.
But these two
sure
dudes
Anthony
are ahead of
would
him.
love that, Carlos. My bad, y'all. I just saw this. I'm like, I'm sure Ed would love that. And,
by the way, Carlos.
And me and Mikey can just sit here and just listen.
Carlos, tomorrow I'm going to see Quebradillas versus Santurce in Quebradillas. So
yeah,
come on,
whatever that means.
Oh, come on, man. Yo,
are we serious here, David?
Brunson for Trey Young.
Brunson for Trey Young.
Come on. Don't.
Well, this is why, because he's saying he doesn't want to trade Cat.
I wouldn't want to trade Cat either. I wouldn't want to. Why would you trade Cat, Ant? For what?
Nah.
They're not going to trade Cat for Giannis.
I just wish DiVincenzo didn't go in that deal, and it was Deuce that went. I'd rather have Deuce gone than I'd rather have DiVincenzo on the team. But
we're branching hard. We're branching. Who cares about DiVincenzo? He's gone. He's done. We still got Cat. He should stay.
He'll be back. He'll find his way back to the team.
Bottom line is, Knicks not good in 2025.
Nah.
We'll see you next year, I guess.
Nah. Yep. Rangers at this point, the Rangers will be playing longer at MSG than the Knicks this year.
Oh my gosh.
And that's a stretch.
Something.
And that's
my God. You can't possibly believe that.
I'm a believer.
You can't believe that.
I'm a believer.
Why would you say that?
Why would you crush
guys?
Believer.
I did want to touch a little bit on the Giants and the Jets. But
before
I don't want to keep you guys. It's up to you guys. You guys, I don't. I mean, for me, it's quick. And I know you guys are Jets fans, but I'll just say this, man. The Giants signed Jameis Winston, and I think it's the right move. The whole Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, like, what the hell are we doing? There's nothing to get there. If that's the move you're gonna make, just so this coach and this GM can win games to save their job, then fire their asses right now.
Yeah, they're gonna get
fired. You want to tell me Brian Dable is this great quarterbacks coach and all this stuff? Then make something out of Jameis Winston.
Overrated, man.
Giants are such a dump.
Make something out of Jameis Winston. I'm not saying Jameis Winston's gonna win you games or anything. He'll be fun.
He will. He'll win a couple.
He'll be annoying.
He was the first. He's what started our 2-minute warning. Jameis years ago, we were texting each other, and we just started saying stupid stuff about Jameis Winston when he stole he robbed crab legs.
Publix.
The crab legs, yeah. So we started texting each other things like those political commercials, like Jameis Winston gets Girl Scout cookies and doesn't pay for them. Stupid shit like that. We were texting back and forth. And that's how the 2-minute warning came about.
That's right.
Oh yeah, Junior. Oh yeah, Junior. Oh yeah, you on my side or you not on my side? Dude? I got nothing against my Boricua, bro.
I don't know, bro. I think the Giants are a dumpster fire, and they're just grabbing straws right now to keep them afloat. Like, that's your signing. That's your quarterback you're bringing in to compete with Tommy Cutler. Really? Come on. I love Jameis. Personally, I'm a Jameis fan, but come on, bro. They're going to be talking about Saquon like the Yankees talked about Babe Ruth, or the Red Sox talked about Babe Ruth for how long? He's going to curse him for a long time. You'll see.
I hope you're right, man.
I
hope not. I don't hope you're right. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong.
He usually is. Don't worry. He usually is.
Yeah, okay.
And again, since you guys are Jets fans, I got to get you guys' thoughts on your team. How do you guys feel about Aaron Glenn and going out there and getting Justin Fields and all that good stuff? Did you guys want to bring back Aaron Rodgers and give that one more try?
I would have. Look at his stats. His stats weren't that bad. But,
no, the team was.
Oh, God.
No, the team stinks.
I have such a hangover. My hangover is so real from 2 years ago when we got Aaron Rodgers.
Wow, that one night of drinking and 2 years later you still have a hangover?
Bro, I'm numb. I don't care what they do. They got to just start showing me something. I'm not even getting excited. I don't care. At this point, I don't care. What new regime? Like, show me something. Show me. That's it. That's it. Show me.
All right. Well, we'll see.
New York Sports Talk. Mildred. New York Sports Talk. That's all. But we're moving on. We moved on from the Giants.
Just touched on it.
Thoughts on the Jets real quick. And we're gonna go on to end it with our New York Mets. I just want to have some fun here as we end it. Just two quick things on the Mets, guys.
Okay.
Let's see. And just because I don't think this is going to happen, if I can find what I want to see here. But you guys, I don't know if you guys listen to WFAN in New York, and you guys know Evan Roberts. Evan Roberts last week was asking, when will Juan Soto get booed? When are the Mets fans gonna start booing Juan Soto? Because he feels that it's inevitable that the Mets will boo Juan Soto. And my answer to that is never. Not never, but not this year. Like, I don't see it happening. I think Soto's gonna take off running from opening day. And I don't see him struggling
100% agree.
To boo him.
100% agree.
He's gonna get booed. He's gonna get booed, I think, at the parade for not signing autographs. That's it.
Oh,
there you go. And obviously, we're happy with Juan Soto. I don't think I have to get you guys thoughts on that.
What parade? What parade is that? The Dominican Day parade? Man?
Yeah. What'd you think I was talking
parade? Yeah, I thought you.
Of course.
You guys
imagine that he goes to the Dominican Day parade and doesn't want to sign autographs
and gets hurt.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Wow!
All right, guys. As we wrap it up, because I want to get you guys out of here, and I know Eddie's having his next roundtable, so I want to get out of the way.
Eddie's like a cross between Joe Pesci and what's Pachanga's name? Luis Guzman. That's who he's a cross between. Joe Pesci and Luis Guzman, and I mean that in a good way.
I know you do. And I'll let him know. You guys, like I said, I don't do the numbers or all the predictions and all of that good stuff, and I'm gonna have to do some of that. Shout out to myself. Everybody, tune in Wednesday night as I'm gonna do my official Blunt Thoughts season preview predictions and all that good stuff.
Oh shit!
With Anthony McCarron from SNY. That's still gotta plan all that out. But I'm gonna have him on Wednesday night, 8:00.
That's
Anthony
awesome.
McCarron, SNY. Blunt Thoughts.
Awesome.
We're gonna give you a 2025 Mets predictions and all that good stuff preview.
Nice.
But the over-under in most places is 91.5. I had it in 90.5 last night. But let's adjust that and let's say it's 91.5. What do you guys have for that? What do you guys just prediction on wins? That's all we're gonna do. Prediction on wins for the Mets in 2025.
Just over.
Just over.
What? So that's 92?
I mean, it could be 91.75.
What the? Oh my God.
Yeah, 92. Yeah,
All
right
right.
down there. I don't think they're gonna crack 100, but they'll get in the 90s.
I have to agree with you. It's for me. It's 91 or 92. Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
my.
I get it.
I
But
totally agree with that.
I mean, I think they'll be solid though. I mean, you could be a 100-win team and not do anything, as we saw. So
Yeah.
they'll be a solid 90-win team. Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're saying
Again,
that there'll be a solid 90-win team, but the 100-win team stinks.
No, I'm saying they're not going to win 100 games. They're going to win over 90. I say 93.
I love fucking with you, Mikey.
Yep.
for me, I just say, man, go out there and win whatever it takes to win a division. But really,
Kill
to
the
get in the
players on your
playoffs.
schedule, bro.
But I want to try to win a division. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I know for now that he says, "Yeah, just get in." Wild card teams have success. But for me, you come into a season, especially a season like
Division.
this one, you come in and you try to win a division, right?
Right. 100%.
I got him right now because I'm a maniac. You guys know that I'm a freaking maniac. I got him at 94 wins.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm doing the year because I got to shout out my guy Elliott, man. Everybody knows my guy Elliott who passed away last
I
year.
remember
Great
that.
Met fans.
89
great
wins.
Contributor, and he was the first one in the preseason who said 87 wins and then quickly changed to 89 wins.
89.
People were laughing this guy off, bro. Laughing him off. And when the Knicks started making that run, Mikey, that became the rallying cry for some of us. And for them to finish at exactly 89 wins and have the seasons that they have, I will never forget that guy. And I never met him, but in spaces. But grew a bond with him as someone that I considered a friend, even though I never met him, and someone that I respected. Because, you know, not everybody you meet on X is like Ann and you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's like that.
I know.
Not everybody you can trust. Not everybody. And
Sure.
Elliott was a great dude, so I'm always going to honor him. But yeah, for me, 94 wins. Yeah, that's what I feel. But gentlemen,
I
man,
hope
I want to thank
so.
you guys.
Same.
I want to thank you guys for a great show, man. It was a great time. It's long overdue. Hopefully, we do it again. We've already spoken behind closed doors. We got plans.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to shout it out there, but we got some plans to do a couple of things. I'm sure Mikey's already, Andrew's already told you, Mikey. Hopefully, we can make that happen throughout the year. But this was great, man. And again, thank you guys. I hope everybody in the chat enjoyed it. Thank you to all the new viewers. And like I said, man, if you guys like what you saw, come hang out with me when I do my Blunt Thoughts. You'll see me again. Today's Monday, Wednesday night. Like I said, with Anthony McCarron doing my little preview show. If you don't know, I do watch-alongs during the games. Not every game. I will be doing opening day. Those are a lot of fun. You see me go psycho just reacting to these games. And then kind of his own entity, but a branch of Blunt Thoughts for now, because we do stream it on YouTube. Mets Talk Unfiltered will be Sunday night and any Mets off day throughout the season. Again, thank you guys. Appreciate you guys, all the viewers. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Go check out my guys at the Theidhitthatpodcast. Again, they do a hell of a job, man. I enjoy it, and I'm sure you guys would enjoy it. Any last word, guys? You guys want to tell these guys where to find you? If I haven't done a good enough job with that.
The I'd Hit That Podcast, all one word on YouTube. Also, we're on Spotify and I guess Apple and all that stuff. It's more random.
We're everywhere.
Episodes. Yeah, we're everywhere, but nobody listens. It doesn't fucking matter.
Well, we gotta change that. We're gonna change that. Just keep at it, man.
We were gonna change the name. This was Mikey's idea. We were gonna change the name to NWA. Nobody watches anyway. So
well, listen, guys. I mean, the people are loving this tonight. You got people saying we gotta do this more often. We gotta collaborate more.
No, I appreciate that. That's a beautiful comment. Thank you, Junior.
Thank you.
I have no problem working with anybody, and I have no problem having you guys as much as possible. I don't like talking to myself.
Yeah,
I don't. You know, I enjoy doing the shit by myself, and the comments in the chat keep it going. But I have no problem doing this stuff, and we'll see what happens throughout the year, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Maybe once a month, Blunt Thoughts. I got to be careful what you say because people get offended, but like a kind of a Blunt Thoughts roundtable. And maybe we'll bring, one or two guys on or whatever. But and we're just talking about what we've seen throughout the month.
Yeah, man.
Again, guys, appreciate you, man. Much love.
Bro,
hopefully we'll see you in the studio, hopefully.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the plan. That's what I'm alluding to, but I don't want to,
Yeah.
don't want to bring it, and then. But that's the plan. That's the plan. We tried last year, and that was mainly my fault. That I wasn't able to make it up. I forgot what the hell happened. But
No
we'll
big
make it
deal,
happen.
man.
And you already know
We're here now.
what I asked you that I want to do out there too.
Yeah,
So hopefully we
yeah.
can make that happen too.
Yep.
But if you let me go, I'll ramble all night, bro.
Same
I
here.
said I'll ramble all night if you let me go.
Same here.
All right, guys.
All right,
as
man.
always,
Hector,
everybody.
thank you.
Appreciate you.
Go ahead,
Thank
Mikey.
you.
Appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Oh, thank you guys, man.
All right.
Yo, you guys already know. What is it? 3 more days, baby, and then it's Mets baseball.
Yep.
LFGM,
Watch along.
baby.
Watch along.
Put it in the books. Let's go.
Yes, sir. The watch along. Peace out, everybody.
All right, guys.
Good night.